Welcome back to the Motivational Mic, the podcast where we highlight stories of resilience, strength, and hope. I'm your host, Jacob Orlick, and today we're diving deep into a remarkable journey that will truly inspire you. I'm honored to be speaking with Jake, a true warrior who fought and survived Ewing sarcoma, along with his incredible mom, who was by his side through every step of the battle. Jake went through 17 rounds of chemotherapy, 31 sessions of radiation, and 15 blood transfusions during his 11-month fight. Together, they faced immense challenges but came out stronger. Today, we'll hear about their experiences, their triumphs, and their hopes for the future. Welcome Jake and Marisol to the show. Hey guys, how are you?
Hey, good.
Hi, Jacob. Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
We're good.
Good.
Getting ready for the week ahead.
I know, right? It's just Sunday night. Who's ready for the week? I guarantee you no one. Yeah. So, Jake.
Thank you for having us, Jacob.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me. So, Jake, can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so obviously my name's Jake, right? I like history. I like aviation. I'm in 8th grade. I am 13, going on 14 in February. And I'm a bit cheerful, so yippee. Alright, that's about me. I don't know what else to say, but
You know, I love that you said that. And I love that you said all the things about you and that you didn't have Ewing sarcoma. You know why I love that? Because Ewing sarcoma isn't the only thing about you. You have so many characteristics and qualities to you, and cancer doesn't define you. And I'm really happy that you did not mention cancer there. I think that's important for everyone to know.
Yeah, like, it sucks, man, but I think I live a normal life now. I am good. I am 5 years post, I think. Am I?
Almost 5.
Yeah, almost
5.
Same here.
How about you, Jacob? You're almost, because you guys had almost at the same time.
When are you declared a survivor? Or is it a survivor?
At year 5. At year 5, so that's going to be June of this year.
June of this year?
Mm-hmm.
Or, this upcoming year.
Upcoming year, yeah.
So for me, it's December. So December 2024.
Okay, so you guys are about 6 months off, really.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's incredible because, I'm sure you did research too, and your mom, and when he was first diagnosed, that I started researching because I had never heard of Ewing sarcoma. They say that it's so rare, and yet we've met so many people that have been affected. In treatment, Jake had a really close friend, Gabby, who unfortunately lost the battle. But she was also battling Ewing sarcoma. What are the chances at the same time, same hospital, and there's you as well.
Yeah, COVID kind of used it too, because then I could have socialized in the hospital,
So you wanted to socialize in the hospital?
Yeah. I do that frequently. I actually do that quite
he grew really tight to Gabby. I think, of course it's relatable with all the kids that are battling, right? But when you find somebody that has your identical cancer, I feel like you can relate even more. And so they bonded. They just really meshed, and they would play and hang out and game and play Minecraft or Roblox. And then COVID happened, and everybody had to be locked in their rooms. So there was social. I mean, they could still play online, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah. Well, I'd finished before COVID. I had my amputation in January of 2020. So literally like 2 months 2 months. I think it was 7 weeks or something before the COVID outbreak. So I got very lucky. You were going through treatment during the time of COVID. Is that correct?
Yeah, he was halfway through when COVID hit. So prior to COVID,
right there.
Yeah, prior to COVID, it wasn't so much of a battle to get him to go to the hospital. He would actually look forward to it because there were so many activities for them, and he had a lot of volunteer friends that he had gotten close to. And then COVID happened, and it became something that wasn't terrible, became just not so fun, so much fun. And we had to do the COVID testing every time he would be a patient. No visitors. Yeah, no visitors. We were so isolated, and thank goodness that there's the technology that there is today where we can still at least FaceTime, and he could go online and play games because, it was hard. It was rough.
It must have been so tough. I mean, the journey as a whole, and then I never really thought about that. I remember as I'd finished up, I thought I was in a pretty tough position, not being able to go to rehab and stuff and learn how to use my prosthetic leg. But I never even thought about the people in the hospital. So that really is a new perspective to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It must have been
tough on you. Must have been so tough on you, man. So sorry you had to go through that.
It was rough for sure.
At the end of the day, I lived. I'm okay now. So
I love your attitude.
God, I'm alive, man.
I love your attitude.
You just gotta enjoy life.
Yeah.
And the same with you, Jacob, the fact that you're thriving and that you're so active. I was so impressed. First of all, someone your age that would be into golf. That's amazing. And that's so cool.
Whole podcast, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you aspire, we're looking through some of your stuff. You aspire to be a podcaster for sports?
Podcaster, yes. Yes. That is one of my main goals. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, working on that.
Have you had any experiences? Have you been able to maybe go and to a sporting event and be a guest?
Yeah. So I was able to actually go to my high school football games last year and upcoming this year, the girls basketball games, and I was able to do along with the girls basketball games, and I was able to broadcast them from a analyst perspective. So it's pretty cool. So that's a big thing for me. I give public speeches. I haven't given one in a while, but that's always great practice.
That's awesome. Yeah, Jake is maybe it's a Jake thing. Jake loves to speak publicly.
Yeah.
He's been invited to a lot of events, and he likes to share his story, mostly because, as you know, better than anyone, the more you share, the more awareness that brings. And we need awareness so that there could be funding for research to give, kids like you guys a chance.
Absolutely.
I think you guys probably followed the same protocol, and those drugs are so antiquated. The newest one is from the 80s, and that's not okay. So we need better treatment for sure, less toxic. Something that we're battling now is the secondary effects of the chemo and the radiation. And so as a result of the doxorubicin that he took, did you take that one too, the Red Devil?
That's the one that made your pee red.
Yep.
Oh, the worst one. It got me so sick.
That was the worst one for him too. And as a result of that one, we have to so he's in Civil Air Patrol now, and he's becoming really physical to where he really wasn't like that, but now he has to do PT. And I'm always concerned because that medication affects the heart. But aside from that, dealing with he has cataract, he has the start of cataract. We go see the specialist on Wednesday, and just some secondary effects that big picture, it's not cancer, thank God, but it's stuff that you guys still have to deal with for the rest of your life. It doesn't end with the ringing of the bell, and
absolutely,
it's continuous. It's continuous, and I think a lot of people, the general population of people, think that okay, you survived, it's awesome, you rang the bell, and it's done. It's not done. Sadly, it's not.
There's a whole nother journey behind it, and that was actually a topic that came up in a lot of conversations that I've been having over my tenure with this podcast. Was how outdated these drugs are and how little pediatric cancer funding actually receives. It's 4%. I know I mentioned this in all of the episodes for everyone listening that it's going around, but I seriously, 4%. It's insane.
But you have to be that squeaky wheel, and you have to continue mentioning it. People need to see that. For me, when I share Jake's journey, I share the good times, of course, but I also share very raw footage that people need to see, right? Because when we see commercials, for example, for St. Jude's, it's, smiling little bald kids in the halls.
That's not the
And,
Not the
you know,
case.
it's not the case. Those are just moments of happiness, that you have, throughout your stay there. But the reality is, there's crying and suffering and so many effects from the chemo, right?
It's so bad.
So, yeah. What happened? What you touch? So with the permission of Jake, like to share. Oh, something's happening here with our computer. I'm so sorry there. Something. I like to share also the footage that is not shared. Because people need to see that that's the reality. That's the reality. People need to see the reality of post. That we need to see the reality of what happens post treatment as a result of essentially the poison that saves you also damages you.
For me, it ruined my processing. So now I can't process, like, let's say, simple multiplication as fast as other people, because it like kills your brain cells kind of too.
Well, the radiation affects your
Yeah.
Did you receive radiation?
I didn't take radiation, but I do want to mention to everyone, you had 17 rounds of chemotherapy and 31 rounds of radiation.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss of words, man. I literally, what I went through, 14 rounds of chemo, and people think that's a lot. But to hear what you're going through, that's like more than double is that triple? Maybe triple.
But it is a lot for you too, Jacob. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot for everybody.
Yeah. Where Jake had his
Like, not only the patients, but the parents too. Because then they have to see their child suffer. And like,
Yeah. Sorry, you guys cut out there. I heard you talk about parents suffering and
go ahead.
Yeah.
parents having to see their kids suffer. It's definitely not easy on the parents.
yeah, it's really fun.
It's so hard. Where Jake had his tumor was behind his left eye. So his cancer could not be removed surgically. So we did something called proton beam radiation, which is radiation that's a little more precise, so that you don't have radiation spread too much throughout your body. But even though we had this precise radiation, it did the margins of where the tumor was. It went outside of the margins a little bit. And so it affected, I'm going to butcher the name, but there is a part of the brain that's responsible for processing skills. And so the radiation affected that part of his brain. So he needs a little extra time to do things that usually doesn't take so long for people. So as you can imagine, in school, math is all processing. So math is probably the most challenging for him, but I'm so proud of him. He actually, I don't know where you're at. You guys do state testing.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have state testing here, and last year he scored a 3, so it goes from 1 to 5, and he had been scoring 1s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
He had been scoring 1s in 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, and then last year, 7th grade, he scored a 3, and that got him into honors algebra, which is picking his up right now, but he's doing well, so I'm proud of him, for overcoming yet another obstacle.
Yeah. Wow. Your attitude is so amazing. You know that you just keep on trying and persevering, and you're accomplishing so much.
Yeah, you gotta focus on the positive side, You gotta focus on the positive things. But yet again, when it comes to childhood cancer awareness, it isn't always like that. You gotta spread awareness about the bad things that could happen too, but also try to maintain a little positivity in that.
It's always positive, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's positive. We always would try to find the silver lining in our gray cloud. We always said it sucked to be in the hospital, but what was our silver lining? That we were able to spend time with each other. So
even though it was mostly restless.
It was restless.
But we suffered together, and we made it through together with the support of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I want to touch up on that a little bit. You said that you guys fought this journey together. That is exactly what everyone who took care of me felt like. I felt like they were a part of my suffering and we all suffered together. How has your relationship boosted since spending that time together?
So I'm her favorite. I'm her favorite. But we have gotten a lot closer than before. Um, we have we have just bonded in ways that others haven't.
I feel like I gotten to know him so much more than I would have otherwise. It
Yeah.
sounds silly because I'm the mom and I'm supposed to know my kids, but I feel like I thoroughly got to know Jake. And I think what's most admirable is that I got to know what a strong kid he is. Um, Today we participate every day for the month of September. We've been participating in a challenge online for childhood cancer awareness for Sebastian Strong. And the prompt today was think of a quote that inspires you and gives you strength. And there is a quote by Bob Marley that says, when being strong is your only option, you have no choice. You have to be strong. And Jake embodies that. Like he was so very strong in moments that I think if I would have been in Jake's place, I wouldn't have been able to be as strong as him. So he's so brave and I admire him so much and he's gonna be my forever hero. All of you guys are. All of you guys are. All of my, childhood cancer warriors. I think I always have a shirt that says, tougher than The Rock, John Cena, and all these, right?
I remember
It's true. Like you guys could face off and kick their butts, because the strength that all of you have is just beyond anything that anyone can imagine.
I really appreciate that. I think everyone is very strong in their own way. I just don't think, I just think not everyone has the chance to show it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I like to say. Because we were put through this tough time. We had no other chance but to face it head to head. And some of us lost our battles. It wasn't in our control. And some of us come out on the other side.
Yeah.
But that's the truth. But to quote Bob Marley again, you don't know how strong you are until being strong is your only option, and then you just muster up the strength from within. Yeah, and it's definitely something like a child shouldn't have to show their strength in this way. I always feel like it's so unfair for anyone to have cancer, right? But especially a child and how it's robbed from your childhood. Like Jake will never have his third grade year again. And then
that's one of the reasons why
you lost a lot of school. I don't know if you were in school while you were in treatment, Jacob, if you were able to do schooling.
So what happened to me actually was I had teachers come to the house. Now, I was in 5th grade and some of 6th grade I was receiving my treatment. So I'd have teachers, I wasn't really actively involved in, every single day, but maybe once a week they'd pop by. It was all optional for me. They obviously my physical health was priority then, and they were just coming to check on me. We bonded very close, our families. I remember I actually had a fundraiser to raise money for my prosthetics and everything that I'm going to need down the line. And my 6th grade teachers actually came to that event. Yeah. So shout out Mr. Smith on that.
Aww.
And Miss Klein. I don't know if she was there, but
Mr. Smith and Miss Klein, you guys are awesome. I'm a teacher, so I love it when teachers. Yes, I love it when teachers go above and beyond and build that relationship with their students.
Yeah.
Beyond the classroom, and what a way to build that relationship with you, Jacob. That's admirable. A lot of the teachers, where I work, also they got together and they would do fundraisers for us because I had to take a leave without pay to be able to take care of him. So in order to provide for us, a lot of the teachers got together and started fundraising for us. Appreciative. But more than that, that's, financial help, which of course was needed. But more than that, I can't think of a time prior to COVID that there wasn't somebody in your hospital room from school. All his teachers, teachers, my colleagues, just coming to the hospital to bring some sunshine our way, during our darkest days. and they'd even bring their kids, and they'd come to the playroom and play. That's why I said that it wasn't bad, going to the hospital and being impatient when you had your family there, your friends, you had activities. Come COVID and all of that shut down. When I tell you, like, it was almost like prison, right? It was terrible.
Yeah, it was
So
almost like prison.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that made the journey extra tough. We were so used to having friends come over. Never, very rarely were we alone in the hospital.
I remember one of our friends we met, his name is Jacob. He owns Get Refreshed, the company. He brought this is actually really cool. He brought a laser tag set over to the hospital where we were at.
To the oncology floor.
He had kids come out and play laser tag with us. It was really fun.
In the hallway?
Yeah, that was so cool. How even the nurses.
Even the nurses.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. I'm glad we had an opportunity.
Really boosted morale of it. Really boosted the morale.
That's awesome. I do want to mention, as you guys were talking about earlier, and I know we already went over this, but struggling together. And you had also mentioned, what was it? And you had also mentioned about finding strength and just overcoming challenges. But I also think that you found a lot of strength because you were the one who had to provide for Jake and had to care for him. So where did you find that strength within yourself to push through and get through cancer?
Oh, that's a heavy one, Jacob. That was hard. All I knew at the time that he was battling is that he couldn't see me break. Contrary to my parenting style, which I feel like I should always be open and honest, and if I feel a certain way, I should show it. But at that time, it was important for me to suck it up and be strong for him. And I don't know that now he sees me cry a lot because I get emotional thinking about it. And I think I have so many moments that I didn't cry reserved in my body that I'm like, I'm a big crybaby, right? But during treatment, I made it a point to always let Jake see me with a smile on my face because as long as mommy, now he's a big boy, but he was 8. But as long as mommy was happy and thinking positive, like, how could he not? So I was always trying to make everything fun for him and I keep it happy. And yeah, and even silly things like the bed sheets, right? I hated the hospital bed sheets, so I would bring, Minecraft bed sheets or whatever he was into, Five Nights at Freddy's at that time, just stuff like that. But don't be fooled. I was smiling on the outside, but I was dying on the inside. I was so fearful.
I didn't really know what was going on, so I think that's positive attitude. I'd actually have late night talks with the nurses when my mom was asleep when they were gonna go change my IV because I would stay up multiple nights.
Yeah, he had his nights and days. I don't know if that happened to you. That he had his days and nights reversed. So that was one of the reasons we couldn't do any virtual schooling or the teachers couldn't come to us because if they would come, he's asleep because he would rest he would get so wiped out from the chemo that he would sleep most of the day. So how's he gonna be productive as a student?
Exactly.
But I try to find as much strength from within, and then also I have an amazing boyfriend that was there for me all the time, 24/7. My mom, my brother, and really close friends that just always, even just sending a text message, hey, I'm thinking about you, and knowing that they were there, that helped so much. And then can we talk about all the amazing people that we've met along the way that have become so close to us? They're family. They're family now. Like Jacob that he mentioned.
We met a lot of amazing people.
Oscar and Rose. We have, I don't want to, call out anyone, but we love all our nurses, but we have a few favorite that have become friends, and
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. As you were mentioning earlier, relationships huge with Gabby. Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Gabby, we lost Gabby.
I'm so sorry for your loss, but
she actually was cancer free, and 3 months later relapsed, and it relapsed with a vengeance. So she was gone pretty quickly.
How old was she?
14. 14
Around the same age as me.
Well,
Well,
No.
now.
I know
Yeah.
one day where everyone who has cancer will be on the other side. One day it will happen. It's so tough. It's so tough to just hear kids dying. I mean,
It's so hard. It's really difficult. So that's why we're always, when we're introduced, usually his nurse will reach out to me if there's a family that has just been diagnosed, and she'll ask, "Hey, can I give him your number?" Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I think that, it's to go back to what I was saying, we had so much support, right? And we felt so loved. But when you speak to somebody that's going through the same exact thing that you are, you feel like they get it. Other people can empathize, of course, but another parent that's going through it, they understand. They get it. Another child that's going through it, they understand. So Sebastian Strong hosts every summer a fundraising event in Key West, Kayaking for Hope. And all of the kids, it's incredible the way that they bond because they get each other, and Jake was, I can't remember who it was with, but another child, they were like comparing their port scars and saying, "Look, I have one too." And that moment was a bonding moment that only they can relate to. No other child can relate to that.
And I enjoyed meeting new people too.
So,
Yeah.
well, I could say I enjoyed meeting you.
Likewise.
Both of you.
Likewise, listen. Philadelphia is definitely on our bucket list because it's a huge history buff.
Yeah.
So when we make it over there, we would absolutely love to hang out with you if you're available.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll keep in touch, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I do want to ask another question.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about having to be strong for Jake and just always having to have a smile on the outside. So I want to ask you, Jake, if you could pick anyone in the whole entire world, who would be your hero?
This one.
I mean, you deserve it. Aristotle, you deserve it.
Thank you.
You really do.
Thank you.
You're the reason he's here.
Yeah, she got me through it. She motivated me.
You have to be so grateful for your mom.
I can't thank her enough.
For everyone that took care of you.
Thank you.
My mom, my stepmom, my dad. Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be here without them, right?
Yeah.
Support. It's I have a shirt that says childhood cancer awareness. No one fights alone, and it's true. We all at that moment, So Jake's dad and I are we're not together, but at that moment, nothing mattered. Nothing else mattered other than Jake, right? Like Jake's health was the priority, and him getting through it was the priority. So, like at that moment, any grudges were forgotten. But Jake was definitely and still is very loved and very supported. He has a big village behind him.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you do as well.
My Instagram used to be called J Bones Army, so
Aww.
now I switched it over
That's why we started following you when it was J Bones Army. Yeah.
Maybe I'll change it back because this podcast is making me realize that I wouldn't be here without that whole army. So you gotta dig deep into that one.
A lot of people in it, huh?
Yeah. I think we have, what is it? 1,960 followers and 60 followers. So 1,960. Yeah.
But yet again, this podcast alone, this podcast is amazing, man.
Oh,
you gotta keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I would love to have you guys again on. This has been amazing.
We would love to be on.
Yeah.
We would love to be on again.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about?
Jakey? So Jake also feels compelled to do something now that he's on this side of treatment, right? So he thought about entertainment while the children are, in the hospital. And so a big problem, I guess, if we can call it that, for us was that at the hospital where Jake was treated, there was only one gaming console. So Jake would like to start a foundation or an organization that provides entertainment to the kids while they're inpatient, either at the clinic or in hospital. I don't know where to start with that, doing that and helping others. It warms my heart to see him want to speak about his journey and want to be such a great advocate for childhood cancer. Because I sound like a broken record. Do you know what a record is, Jacob? Or am I aging myself?
Oh, of course I know what a record is.
The other day in my class, I said something about a cassette. And the kids were like, what? And so I actually had to Google an image of
what grade do you teach?
I teach pre-K through 5th grade art. So I have all the
That makes sense. I'm in 11th grade, so.
Yeah. So,
47 years ago.
But it's so funny because sometimes I use, verbiage from when I was a kid and they're like, what? They don't understand. And now I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
But it warms my heart to see Jake wanting to be an advocate and wanting to help, just like you are advocating and helping and spreading the word, because awareness is where it's at. The more that people understand childhood cancer and the need for new treatment, the more funding we're going to get, the more research is going to be conducted, and then hopefully sooner than not, there'll be advances.
And there will be a cure.
Yes.
That's the ultimate goal.
Ultimate goal. Yes. Yes.
I want to say, I think we are very alike in the way that we want to motivate others and we want to live life to the fullest.
Oh, yeah.
I think this has been my best interview yet. I really enjoy meeting you guys. I'm not going to lie. I don't say this on any interview. This is the first one I've actually said this on. I've enjoyed talking to you guys so much, and I was actually wondering if maybe Jake or both of you would want to be a co-host on the show one time.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I think I nominate him.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, we'll be in touch about
Jacob
that.
and Jake. Yeah. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. We really enjoyed chatting with you.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been awesome.
Of course.
Excited to see us on again.
Yeah.
Thank you. We hope you have a great week.
Yeah, you too. Jake,
Thanks.
I'll talk to you guys a little later. Have a great school week starting tomorrow because it's Sunday night.
Yeah.
Pretty big school.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say. Just continue to live life to the fullest and continue to have that positive attitude. Because you're going to change a lot of lives.
Aw.
Hey, you too, man. You're a motivational mic. I bet it's helping a lot of people in not only the United States but the world. Like keep spreading
doing what you're
positive
doing.
attitude. Like,
Yeah. No, that's the ultimate goal, to help people, to inspire and motivate. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jacob. It was nice being with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye. Good night. Bye.
Wow. I'm just blown away by the incredible outlook Jake and his mom have on life. Despite his current struggles post-treatment, they maintain an extraordinary positive outlook, which is truly inspiring. And that aligns perfectly with the motivational tip of the week. Staying positive. Staying positive is key to navigate life's challenges. One powerful way to do this is by intentionally surrounding yourself with positivity. You can start by filling your environment with motivational quotes that inspire and uplift you, reminding you of your strength and resilience. I personally find that listening to uplifting music can also boost your mood and help shift your mindset toward optimism. Equally important is spending time with people who encourage and support you. When you are around those who lift you up, it becomes easier to maintain a positive attitude even during difficult times. Who you spend your time with matters greatly. Surround yourself with people who support, encourage, and believe in you. Positive relationships can be a strong foundation in your life, providing emotional support, motivation, and a sense of belonging. Being around those who inspire and uplift you helps you maintain a positive outlook, even when things get tough. These relationships remind you that you're not alone in your journey, and they can help you stay focused on your strengths rather than your struggles.